And I'm going to cover 3 topics pretty fast because I really want this to be like the project slide. So things that you can do. Number 1, you can talk about the moon and you can go watch it and see if the things that I've told you are true. And then explain, okay, I watched the moon for a week and this is what happened. Part of the reason I'm giving you this video now is so you have time to do it. And by the way, you're going to have like a week and a half to get this done because it's not due till June 4th. But you can watch the moon and see if it does the things. You can study the sun and learn about black holes and tell us what you've learned about the creation of the sun, white dwarfs, neutron stars, black holes, and just give us like a little overview, like you're teaching us with your PowerPoint about those things. Well, I want to add 3 more things to that. The solar system is one. You could just pick a planet. Let's say Saturn, because you can see Saturn up in the sky different times of the year. So Venus, you can see it's and how do you know it's Venus you're looking at? I used to have a lot of fun with my kids. I'd take them out at night and I'd show them Mars, and I'd say that's Mars, and they'd be like, "How do you know that?" Well, it's red, and it's close, it's big, it looks good. Venus is beautiful, bright planet. It's one of the most beautiful that you see from the. So let's go see if we can find the planet. Now the cool thing about finding a planet is it moves. The actual word planet means wandering star. So when you're looking for planets, one night it will be here, the next night it will be there, then it might move back there, and then it might move over here. And I'd like you to kind of pick a planet, find it, and all you got to do is Google. Is Mars up? Is Saturn up? Is Jupiter up? You're not going to see Uranus or Pluto, or even Neptune. But you will see Jupiter because it's huge. You'll see Saturn, and if you had a telescope, you could actually see the rings of Saturn, and sometimes if you get a good telescope, you can see the moons around those planets. And then you can definitely see Mars and Venus. I'm not sure if you can see Mercury or not. I would say yes, but it's kind of a smaller planet. I've never really seen Mercury. So it's usually Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. There's usually 1 or 2 of them are up in the sky, and it just depends on whether they're on the other side of the sun or on the same side as you. Are they up in the daytime or are they up at night? So you have to kind of Google where are they and when would I see them. And then I'd like you to go out and look at them and tell me where you saw it. From your perspective and wherever you're at, tell me where you saw it, what it looked like, and how cool it was. So that would be what I would like you to do about planets. Okay, the next one that I'd like you to look at is galaxies. Sometimes galaxies look like stars. If you just get a pair of binoculars out, sometimes you can look up into the sky and you can kind of tell it's a fuzzy star. Some of those are galaxies. And if you get a really good telescope, there's a galaxy out there called Andromeda. And Andromeda is part of the constellation Andromeda. And if you know where to look for it, it's right off of Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is like a little W in the sky. It actually points to it. And you can find that in a telescope and you can actually see the swirls. It will actually look, it's a spiral galaxy and it'll actually look like that. It's also moving towards us fairly rapidly, so it's going to have a higher frequency, so it's going to have a bluish tint to it. If you get a galaxy that's moving away from you, it'll have a red tint. We call that a red shift. But again, Google galaxies in the sky. How do I find them? Locate those babies. Go up on a beautiful night, look up in the sky for a change. Great time to do it. You're not allowed to do anything else till the end of the month. So go out there and check out those. See if you can find some galaxies. See if you can find planets. They're not that easy to find, although planets don't twinkle. They shine. They're like moons, actually. If you get a telescope or a good set of binoculars and you look at them, you'll be like, oh my gosh, that looks like a quarter moon, or that looks like a crescent moon. Well, that's because they behave the same way. You see the reflection of the sun off of them. They don't emit their own light. Suns and stars do. Galaxies emit their own light. Planets and moons don't. Okay, the last thing that you can do, and this is my favorite, I love going out. We had a boat. We'd go out with our kids and out onto Lake Michigan on a calm night, and we'd stay in Grand Haven or Muskegon or whatever, and we'd take that boat out there at night and just look at the stars and be able to, or we'd sit in the marina and do it if there wasn't lights there. But you'll look up into the sky and you see all these pictures that your ancestors saw and gave names to, like Orion and Orion's belt. He looks like an archer shooting at Taurus the bull, and Taurus the bull is saving the seven sisters. It's a cluster of seven stars that travel together. And there's all sorts of constellations out there. All the Pisces and all the Taurus and all these constellations. Cassiopeia is a constellation. They're out there. The Southern Cross is out there. And all you'd have to do is look up constellations, Google it, find some that you want to find, and then watch them. And the ones that are your horoscope is created with, or whatever. What's your sign? Are you Taurus, or are you Pisces, or whatever? A Gemini. Gemini is the twin sisters. And your behavior supposedly is based on that. Well, what really happens is those constellations are up like in March and April and May, and you see them in the northern hemisphere. The southern hemisphere has a whole other set of constellations that we never even see. We're not pointed in the right direction. So, but our northern hemisphere, the ones that are up in the sky at the time of the year that you're born, those are the guys that is your sign. It's silliness, but that's the way it is. So what I would like you to do for this project, my hope and dream, is that you'll go out and look for constellations, and you're going to have to get online. Normally I'd have a bunch of sheets and make you practice finding them on the sheets, and then you'd go out at night and do them. I don't have those sheets with me. They're at school, but I actually probably might be able to do that. I'll think about doing that if I can find the sheets. I haven't taught astronomy in a while, but you can go online and say, I want to see my sign. I'm a Taurus. Well, find the Taurus the bull. He's just Orion shooting his arrow at him, trying to protect the seven sisters from him. So Taurus the bull is up there. He's not going to look like you expect, but he's out there, and find out what they look like. Go find these things, and then tell us about them. That's your project. Tell us you found Andromeda, the galaxy, and you were able to look at it with a telescope. You tracked the moon for 2 weeks, and lo and behold, it did exactly what Mr. Nicholas said it was going to do. It changes how you view the night when you do it. So spend a little time. Heck, I know you guys don't go to bed because you don't start handing me your assignments until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That means you must be staying up late at night. Cool thing to do. Go out and look up in the sky. Good luck. Have fun with this assignment. Last one. Have a great summer. We'll be talking to you next fall, I hope.